Hey everyone, it's Rob the Backyard Gardener here, and everybody is asking about the apple trees, so we might as well go ahead and get you an update. They turned 28 months old on May 1st, and I think about a week before May hit, I had filmed the last episode where we had some fruit sets. So remember, it's only been about 10 days or so since the last filming, but everyone's curious how they look. So in this update, I'm gonna go ahead and show off all the apple trees I have grown from seed, as well as my Gala Apple Tree. And we'll just get you fully caught up and get you caught up on those fruit sets that I know everyone's asking about as well. All right, the first apple tree we're gonna feature in the video, guys, is my 4-year-old Gala Apple Tree. It actually had flowers this year. I don't know if it set any fruit. Most of the flowering buds were up towards the top. I didn't do a good job of trimming this down to have the fruit accessible. So we'll have to see. They literally just lost their flowers probably 5 days ago. So I don't know if anything's been set yet, but he's doing really well, getting really big. Hopefully, if no fruit this year, this guy starts fruiting every year after that. I've got him strategically here because he's next to my 2-year-old apple trees. Now these were Apple Series 2. This was the second batch that I did, and really I kept these guys indoors way too long. They were stunted, but we're working on them now. You can see this one is definitely developing some branching. I actually topped him here. I believe he had some kind of fire blight disease, so I took the whole top off as a precaution, and it's really made these other branches come along. So a couple of years old as well. And then here's another one down here. He has struggled. You can see, man, these are really sparse. They just don't love it on this side of the yard. But again, they were stunted. And then here's the third one. It's like another twin tower. Just like the other one, it's got a couple of leaders that I've left. This one is not doing very well, but it is just starting to break its buds there. I may do some sculpting on this one to get it more established better. Maybe take away the second leader here. Not quite sure. But that's the 3 that I planted in my Apple Series 2. They're such runted compared to the other ones I'm going to show you next. Now that you've seen these, let's take a look at the original one without the fruit sets on the other side of the yard, show you how big he is. So I'm walking over to this side of the yard because it's going to be a little loud here for a second. I apologize for my pool noise. I can't quiet that thing up. But we're coming on this side of the yard because this is where my original apple tree is, guys, and it is a monster now. Let me flip the camera on and show you this guy. All right, so here's the base of him. Again, he's doing just so great here. Look at this guy. Now watch, look how much foliage he's put on. Unbelievable. He looks fantastic. This guy has not set flowers yet. He hasn't even had a flower. I'm not expecting anything. It was a miracle we got some on the other one. But in the meantime, I'm just enjoying the way this guy looks. He's got a pretty good canopy here. I do need to do something as far as maybe stretching these apart. Maybe I'll put a wooden block right in here just to open it up a little bit, kind of train the branches apart. Not quite sure yet. I really want to avoid doing too much trimming and topping on these guys. I want him to get as big and as healthy as possible until the off season, and then I'm going to take a huge chop and sculpting probably around October on this guy, maybe November, and we'll get him set up for winter dormancy. But wow, look at that guy. He's a beast, looking beautiful. If this guy flowers next year, who knows what he'll produce. All right, enough of this. I know you guys have seen these ones. What you're really hoping for is to see my fruit sets, so let's go check it out. All right, guys. Here's that apple tree that's been coined the Twin Towers. As you know, I have to keep him protected with a plastic bottle because the last apple tree I had, which was over there, perished. And no pun intended, I put a pear tree where he perished. All right, now back to this one. You can see from a distance, he's really starting to fill out now, coming into his own. Finally, I was nervous about it because he had fruit sets, but he didn't have a lot of foliage. And so I was thinking, man, even if he set some fruit and even if they became an edible apple, how big would they really be without enough photosynthesis going on? But a little fertilizer down there at the base about a month ago, and it seems to have helped out a lot. He's really filling out. We'll start with the ones that were pollinated by Mother Nature. You can see we still have the fruit sets coming in. They're actually getting a little bit bigger. We got some there. We got several down there. And check this out. We even have a ladybug doing her job, or his job I should say. But thank you for killing those aphids for me. Because as you know, on fruit trees, aphids are a major problem. Obviously, you can have some chewing on some of the leaves, but you just can't get an infestation. We've got a few fruit sets right here as well. And even up top. All the ones I'm showing you now were the ones that Mother Nature pollinated. Now let's get over to the ones that I hand pollinated with my majestic crab apple tree. Here they are, guys. They have definitely increased in size by about 33% since the last video. Very hard to tell right now if they're going to become an edible fruit or if they're going to be crab apples. Very hard to tell. It takes a couple of months really to get to know if these guys are going to put on any more size. But as you can see, they definitely appear to be getting bigger and bigger. So I don't know, what do you think? Crab apples? Or are they going to continue to swell up and become edible apples? And even if they did, they're probably not going to be very big. This is a small tree. With this size of trunk on this guy and the limited number of foliage and branches, I highly doubt the apples will be that big. Biggest thing I'm hoping for is that they become edible and that they do swell up. Man, if they can get at least 3 or 4 times that size, they might be something that's edible. Right now, they're only about the size of 2/3 the size of a majestic crab apple. So, man, I don't know. We'll see. But they're green. And most of the crab apples I get are red or purple or maroon. So, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? And I'm hoping they're only green apples because they're juvenile and they have to still form and then get color. You never know. So, I guess the question is, guys, what do you think? How's it looking to you? Are the apples putting on enough size that convinces you maybe they're not crab apples? Or do you think they're looking more and more like crab apples? Remember, it's only been about 10 days since the last update, so they haven't had a lot of time to do much. Like I told you and promised you, we're going to update this series every 2 weeks. So the next update for these apples will be in a couple of weeks from now. Well, there you have it, everyone. That's my apple trees grown from seed update. They're all 28 months old now, or at least the two major ones. The other ones are about 24 months old, and then I have the big Gala apple. I promised you updates every 2 weeks. I'm going to keep to that regiment. We'll have another update 2 weeks from now, and we'll see how those fruit sets are doing. Hopefully they're not crab apples. Hopefully they're edible apples. We'll see how they come along with this tree being so small. Hope you enjoyed this week's apple tree update. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.